Hello, welcome back to my channel. And if you just here for the very first time, what I do here, I teach Excel course, and I am your instructor. My name is Neobong Emmanuel. If this is what you want to learn, I'd like you to subscribe to the channel and also like the videos. All right, this is the second part of this video I'm going to do right now, where I analyze a financial data from a supermarket in order to make informed business decision. So if you are yet to watch the first video, I'll drop the link in the description section of this particular video. I'll drop the link to the first video because this video is being divided into two. Okay, the first part where I made use of some Excel functions to analyze the data, and this is the second part where I'll be answering some questions. All right, so these are the questions we have for this part. Remember, I broke the question into three aspects for the first video. So for these questions 1, 2, 3, I've already answered them in the first video. So right now I want to answer the questions 4, 5, 6 and 7. Question 4, 5, 6 and 7. So I'd like you to stick to the video until the very end. Now, I have said earlier this is a sales data from a supermarket. Okay, so if you want to really know more about this particular data, you can watch the first video and get the information right there. So let's go straight up to the point of what we have today. Now we have in this question 4, we are being asked which product sells well and in which city. Which product sells well and in which city? This is a very it's an intelligent question for business intelligence. That's why we use Excel to answer it. So we want to know, having look at, we are asking us which products is selling well and in which city. So now we're going to concentrate on city. This is city here. We'll also concentrate on products, and we'll also concentrate on quantity, because it's the quantity that is telling us how many people are buying in that particular city. All right, we can't do without this quantity. Okay, for that particular question, let me repeat the question again. The question says which product sells well and in which city. You might literally think that they are talking about only city and what product. Well, how can you know the product that is selling very well? Is it not when you look at the quantity that is being bought from these cities? Yes, that is when you look at the quantity. Now, for me to answer this particular question, I'll be making reference to an Excel formula or an Excel function which is called pivot tables. All right, I made a video in pivot tables. You can go through the Excel course and learn from basics what pivot tables are. Okay, but right now I won't be giving basics about pivot table because I already discussed it in my previous video. So you can go and check for the video I did specifically on pivot tables, and you get to have an idea on pivot table before you come back and work on this particular Excel spreadsheet. Okay, so we are being asked which product sells well and in which city. Now we are going to use pivot table to answer that particular question. How can you do that? First thing, before you use a pivot table, make sure that all your data set is being highlighted. Okay, then pivot table is going to pick the range where it's starting this analysis from. Okay, now after you've highlighted, it's very easy to do that. Just go to this particular point here where you have the split rectangle. Okay, here when you click on it, it highlights everything. Okay, if you're using Excel 2016 and other Excels too. So when you've done that, you go to insert tab. Okay, you can see pivot table on this particular place here. Yes, you click on pivot table, then select from table range. Okay, so it's going to select from the range of tables. You can see it here. This is the range you want to cover. I'm going to use this navigation bar to scroll down. This is the range you want to cover, but we don't want it to cover up down to this point. Okay, but it seems it won't alter the results, although, but for consciousness sake and for clarity's sake, let's do it the right way. Now the right way is you just come in here. All right, just click on this particular first cell, then you can use your shift button and the arrow key to navigate through. This is where you want to stop. Then we scroll down to, you still hold your shift button and arrow key. So wherever you're going to, be it left or right, you use the arrow key that points that direction, right? So let's just hold on till it gets to the very last. This is what I used to recommend for people who wish to use pivot tables in Excel. Okay, just do the normal, use the manual method to highlight all your data sets. We don't want anything that will cover beyond the data sets, okay? Because when we try to click on the slice rectangle, it was going beyond what we did not expect, especially for the rows. Okay, but for the columns, it covered the columns. So this is where I like to stop. Yes, I just want my pivot table to be centered around this point. Then I pull off my hand. The moment it has covered the data set I wish to capture in the pivot table, I can now go ahead to click on pivot table, then select from table range. Right, the moment you select from table range, it's going to impute that range which you covered. All right, now remember, it starts from A1. This is A1. The dollar sign is just to tell you it's covering a particular point. Okay, then down to 1001, cell 1001. Then I like you to select what's new worksheet. It's always advisable when you want to create the pivot table, you make sure you place it on a new worksheet. Okay, so select new worksheet and click on OK. Yes, we have not, this is the sheet for the pivot table, but we have not yet built the pivot table. We need to build it up. Okay, now before we build it up, you must understand what each of these stands for. These rows means your data is going to, can you see the rows here, this place here? Your data that you're going to input in these rows, or the data, the column you drag. Remember, all of this here, they are columns for your data set. City, customer type, gender, product line. Let's go back to the data set. You can see city, customer type, gender, product line, and stuff like that. All right, so if you select rows, that means those data is going to appear in form of rows. Let's do that right now. Remember, the question is asking us what? The question is asking, I'm going to make this question available in the description section of the video as well, so you can also download it. So the question is asking which product sells well and in which city. So let's start from city. So automatically city gets assumed a point, the position of a row. What do I mean by a position of a row? If you come here, it's better understood when these cities are being arranged in this row. Like, these are all the cities that are included in that data. Mandalay, stuff like that. Mandalay, I don't know this stuff, Yangon and Napita or something like that. Okay, so that is going to assume the position of a row. Okay, then the next thing we want to look at is the product line, because we I mean asked which product sells well and in which city. Which product sells well and in which city. So the product line is what we're going to concentrate on. But the product line, if you want it to be in this particular way, you can leave it that way. If you want it to still be in rows, okay, that means it's going to itemize for each city. It itemizes all the products for each city. Like you can see Napital, it itemizes all the products. Or okay, then if you don't want it there, if you want it to be in form of a column, this is how it's going to look like. So for each city, you have these products as a column. That's why we placed it in the column section. Okay, but if you're comfortable with it here, just know that it's not all columns, all column names you can put in rows. There are some that should fit in columns, and there are for values, there are some that should fit in values. All right. So I like this to be, we can just leave this right here. Okay, the next thing we want to concentrate on is the quantity. How are you going to know which product is selling well? If through the quantity we determine that. So you can't determine the product that is selling well if you don't actually know the quantity of this product that was being bought. Okay, remember this the quantity of this products here that was being bought. Let me go back to this first sheet. Quantity of this product, it's just telling you that this product that were being bought at 24 naira, okay, for health and beauty products. Okay, so these are the total quantity that have been sold. So the quantity plays a vital role. Okay, the quantity plays a vital role in this analysis. So welcome back, guys. So we're gonna select quantity, and quantity is going to be, sorry, quantity is going to be in values, under values. All right. So these are the products. For accessories, we have the total of 1264. Okay, these are some of the quantities. For accessories, we have 1264 that are being sold in what's Mandeli, stuff like that. Okay, so I think it's better itemized this way. Let the city be there, and all the products that are being sold in that particular city. Okay, so let me drag this so I can see it clearly. Yes. Now you can see in the city of Mandalay, these are the total electronics that are being sold, the total fashion, accessories, the total food and beverages, total stuff like that. So it's easier for you to answer the question now that says which words, which product sells well and in what city. Okay, which product sells well and in what city. Now let's go to see the sum of quantities. Now for the city of Mandalay, this is the sum of quantities: 7,117 quantities of items were being sold. For Napi Tao, 7,679. For Yangon, 7,905. So which one is the highest? I think the highest is this Yangon. So Yangon has the highest products that are being sold. Okay, the highest quantity of product that have been sold. Now I want to determine which quantity is quite significant. Okay, which quantity is quite what significant there. So home and lifestyle products, people buys it more because it's high here, but there's no significant products from this data set I'm seeing right here. No significant products, because do you know why? This value 1449 and this value 1005, they are not significantly different from each other. Okay, something that is significantly different could be like if there's a product that has two, that's only two quantity of it is being sold, and another product 15 is being sold, so you can say the two is quite significantly different from what the 15. So but from the analysis we can see that the city of Yangon has the highest quantity of products being sold, and for that alone 1500 quantities of home and lifestyle products were being sold. So people patronize this home and lifestyle what product more in the city of Yangon. So in other cities you can see people patronize fashion and accessories, especially in Napi Itao. People patronize fashion and accessories, and people also patronize food and beverages. Okay, like in the city of Mandalay, you can use this to make informed decision. In the city of Mandalay, the highest quantity of product being sold there is fashion and accessories. People buy fashion and accessories the more. Okay, in Mandalay. So this is what you can use to make informed decisions, so that you know that what you need to do is to increase the number of fashion and accessories going to city of Mandalay. Also increase the number of fashion and accessories going to the city of what Napi Tao. Also increase the number of home and lifestyle products you sell in the city of Yangon. So this alone can help people make informed business decisions. Okay, it doesn't mean you're going to stop selling other products, but it's just only telling you that these are the products that are doing well in a particular city. All right, so this is how you can use pivot table to make this kind of business decisions, and pivot tables are created for that purpose. Okay, so if you actually understand what's being done here, I'd like you to leave a comment in the comment section of this video. If you like a recap of it, if you have any questions, you can message me, or also leave a comment for your questions, and I'll be there to do it, to answer them. All right, at this point in time, guys, I'd like you to subscribe to the channel if you're here too. Also like the video. Shout out to everybody. Catch you in the next video.